Hello everyone, I'm Jack Ferguson, the President and CEO of the Philadelphia Convention and Visitors Bureau. We're here at the beautiful Pennsylvania Convention Center, which is playing host to BIO's annual World Congress on Industrial Biotechnology, and we're thrilled to have them here. My guest right now is Fred Moesler. He is the CTO of Renmatix, and he is going to talk to us about a couple things that I think are important to the audience which we speak. And Fred, I'm going to start off with some questions. Welcome, first of all.
Thank you.
And first, walk us through with Renmatix Plantrose technology. How does it work, and what feedstocks are used in the process?
Well, thank you for having me. The Plantrose process is kind of a different take on the basic processes of hydrolysis of biomass, which really means how do you pull apart the biomass and isolate its components that can be used for other chemicals and fuels. So in our particular case, what we do is we take a variety of different biomasses, although we focused initially on biomasses such as hardwoods and softwoods and other woody biomasses that have very established supply chains. But what we do is we take that material and we hit it with supercritical water. And supercritical water is water at this other state that stops acting like water. In that state, water acts like a catalyst, and it acts like a solvent, and it helps dissolve the biomass and react the biomass. But at the end of that, when we take the heat off of it, that biomass is now back into being water. And so we've basically torn apart the biomass into its component sugars and lignin, only using water at the end of the day. And that process, designed well for heat integration, gives us a very low-cost cellulosic sugar and lignin solution.
Terrific. You spoke about lignin in your panel discussion this morning when you were doing your presentation as a co-product. How does lignin fit into the bioeconomy? And what is lignin used for, and how is it used in your company differently?
Certainly. Well, lignin is, interestingly enough, the second most abundant biologically based material on the face of the planet. It's exceeded only by cellulose. And it's an inherent part of most of the biomasses that people will process and ultimately make other materials out of. So if you're going to process it and remove the component carbohydrates and sugars, you better do something with this lignin, which is a very interesting molecule with lots of activities. It's currently used in the space for viscosity changers. It modifies viscosity for different types of mixtures. It's used as dispersants and things like that. So lignin exists today. The problem with lignin generally today is it's often a waste material that's been contaminated through the processing of, say, paper and pulp. It smells, it's got a sulfury smell to it, some of it's been degraded. The lignin that comes out of the Renmatix process basically comes out having only ever seen water. It has not seen any of the pulping chemicals or anything else, and basically is untouched, comes out almost like nature intended it without the other materials with it. That means it's very active, can be used in a variety of different higher value applications like phenolic replacements, thermoplastics, carbon fiber. There's a lot of places that it can go, and due to the low-cost nature of the Renmatix process and the clean lignin that we make, it's very cost-effective, and there's a value proposition to all of these other higher value products. So
I'm really learning on the job here. This is really cool to hear. Tell me this: how does that look in the market globally, lignin? How does that? Well,
globally, again, it's such a large component of this bio-based processing that there will be all kinds of places we can put that. Lignin can be used as adhesives, for example, for building different types of plywood and OSB and things like that. So it can be used in construction projects. It can be used as a filler material in foams that are put into cars. It can be made into carbon fiber to make lighter, more energy-efficient vehicles. There's lots of places that lignin can go in. It can go into all of these places as long as the cost profile and the quality profile are right. And with the Renmatix lignin, I think we have a new offering in the space in that area.
Terrific. How important are economics at the conversion stage in the bio chain?
Well, flat out, what I typically say is economics are one of the most important aspects of the bio-based economy. Because right now, the world has lots of interesting conversion technologies that allow you to replace chemicals that are made from oil today. A lot of technologies, people all over this hall, all associated with the bio organization, all are involved with making new materials from a non-oil based route. But if you can't compete with those economically, you have a really hard time penetrating the market. How the bioeconomy really will take off is when you have a cost-effective alternative to the oil-based products. That's when the whole game changes, because now you have market drivers that drive everything. And that's really been the focus of Renmatix, is how do we enable the bioeconomy by having the lowest cost cellulosic sugar and lignin production technologies. And that's been our sole focus, is to try to give the entire space low cost economics so that they can all take off as well.
And just share with me, how old is your company?
Renmatix was started in around 2008.
So it's amazing.
Yeah.
We're talking about a brand new company with products that are going to affect humankind around the world.
Absolutely.
Plantrose process, compare to its relativity to other methods that are used.
Certainly. Well, a lot of the other methods that are in use today have been around quite a bit longer. Acid hydrolysis techniques were researched back as far as the 1940s. Enzymatic techniques are somewhat newer, but there's been a lot of work even from the 70s forward on enzymatic techniques. Supercritical hydrolysis is relatively new. We're really some of the pioneers in that space. And the big difference between all of these different things it goes back to the economic question. It's what the last thing the world really needs is another too expensive carbohydrate to go into the bioeconomy. What you really need is a process that delivers the economics of that conversion so that you can enable all those other businesses. And that's really what the supercritical hydrolysis process does for us, is that we tear apart the biomass in a very cost-effective means so that we can pass that savings ultimately down the food chain. Everybody makes money along the way, and ultimately the products that we make are cost competitive with the oil-based alternative.
It's really terrific information for our audience, and certainly what you shared. First of all, Fred, we're thrilled to have you here in the Philadelphia area.
Thank you.
We're glad that Bio is with us this week, and Big Bio will be with us next year. A quick question. Tell us how the bio-industrial organization impacts your company and helps you.
Certainly. Well, I think a big organization like Bio allows a smaller company such as us to get into the conversations taking place at so many levels in this space, such as all of the discussions around the RFS and all the volumes of renewable fuels that are being required, and the different types of battles that are taking place as we try to move this industry forward. Bio allows us to all to group together and act as one to help drive change in the bioindustrial space. Bio also helps enable conversations like you see taking place all around here of networking, where people are sharing ideas, because everybody here is really on the cutting edge of new technology, and we try to do as much learning from company to company as possible so that we can all be successful.
Terrific. Well, we're thrilled to have you. Enjoy the rest of your time in Philadelphia. I know that you're here locally, and anything we can do for you, come back.
Outstanding. Thank you very much.
Thanks. Good to see you.